In the US, a month of Ozempic lists at about $936. Wegovy, about $1,349. If you've been quoted one of those at a pharmacy counter, you assumed you were paying for something extraordinarily hard to make. A 2026 study estimated the same molecule could be made for about $3 a month. The price is not the cost, and that gap is now one of the largest revenue engines on Earth. Around $70 billion a year today, forecast past $100 billion by 2030. So we're taking it apart. The money, not the medicine. It comes down to three things: a prescription you never stop filling, a patent that keeps everyone else out, and a price nobody can actually see. Here's the story you're meant to believe about the price. It's a miracle drug. It's brand new. It's fiendishly hard to make. So of course a month costs over $1,000. You're paying for the science. Except the numbers don't hold. In 2026, researchers estimated that the actual active ingredient, semaglutide, could be manufactured at scale for as little as $3 a month. 3. The molecule isn't what's expensive, and you can prove it by leaving the country. The exact same Ozempic that lists near $936 a month in the United States lists around $103 in Germany and about $169 in Japan. Same factory, same drug, same company, a price 5 to 10 times higher on one side of a border. So if the price isn't the cost, and it isn't the science, what is it? It's a machine. Let's look at the engines. Engine 1 is the shape of the prescription itself. Most blockbuster drugs cure you, or you take them for a while and stop. A GLP-1 is different as a business. For most people, the effect lasts only as long as they keep taking it. Stop the shot, and the reason you started tends to come back. Set the medicine aside and look at what that means on a spreadsheet. It means the customer doesn't buy once. They buy every week, indefinitely. In finance, there's a name for a payment that arrives on a fixed schedule and doesn't stop. It's an annuity, a subscription written into biology. And the subscriber base is exploding. About 10 million Americans were on one of these drugs in 2025, double the number 2 years earlier. JP Morgan projects 25 to 30 million by 2030. Millions of people, each on a recurring, high-price refill with no natural end date. Now put the prices side by side, because this is the whole trick in one picture. 1 month of Ozempic, $936 in the United States, $103 in Germany, $169 in Japan, roughly 10 times the price of the identical product, for Americans specifically. Wegovy tells the same story, about $1,349 a month in the US versus around $296 in the Netherlands. The gap isn't manufacturing, it isn't shipping, it's power. The power to name a price and make it stick. Other rich countries negotiate drug prices as one big buyer and say no. The US, for the most part, doesn't. So the same molecule wears two completely different price tags, and the higher one is the one that built the machine. Which raises the obvious question: why can't a competitor just show up and undercut them? That's Engine 2. Engine 2 is a wall, and it's made of paper. The active ingredient in Ozempic and Wegovy is protected by US patents that run until roughly 2032. Until then, it is illegal for anyone else to sell generic semaglutide in the United States. No competitor, no cheaper copy, no price war. That's the deal a patent makes. In exchange for inventing the thing, you get a government-enforced monopoly for a set number of years. It's a real and deliberate trade. But while it lasts, the maker isn't setting a price against rivals, because there are none. It's setting a price against your willingness and your insurer's willingness to pay. Combine that with a refill you never cancel, and you have a monopoly on a subscription. That is about as strong as a pricing position gets. And notice the clock. Every month between now and 2032 is a month with no generic. The machine isn't just big, it's on a timer. and everyone running it knows exactly how long the window stays open. Engine 3 is the cleverest one, because it's designed so you never quite know what anything costs. Between the drug maker and you sits a middle layer, the pharmacy benefit managers, the PBMs, that negotiate on behalf of insurers. The maker sets a list price, for Ozempic, around $8,000 a year. Then it quietly hands the PBM a big rebate to win a spot on the insurance plan. Assume a rebate around 60%, and the insurer's real net cost can drop toward $3,200 a year, while the list price still reads $8,000. Two prices for one drug, the scary sticker and the secret one. And on top of it all sits the coupon, the manufacturer savings card that makes you feel like you beat the system while keeping you on the expensive brand instead of switching away. Here's the tell. Novo Nordisk is now cutting Ozempic's US list price to $675 a month, starting in 2027, and a Medicare negotiated price landed near $274. A company can only slash a price by half overnight if that price was never anchored to cost in the first place. The list price was theatre. Almost nobody ever paid it, but everybody was measured against it. Now zoom all the way out. Novo Nordisk, the maker of Ozempic and Wegovy, did about $46.7 billion in total revenue in 2025, and those two drugs alone were roughly $31 billion of it. Its rival, Eli Lilly, did about $36.5 billion from its own version, tirzepatide. The drugs sold as Mounjaro and Zepbound. Two companies, one category, around $70 billion a year right now. And the runway keeps extending. Analysts project the whole GLP-1 market past $100 billion a year by 2030. This is the engine that briefly made Novo Nordisk the most valuable company in Europe, a company from a country of 6 million people floated to the top of a continent by a once-a-week shot. So why doesn't the machine break? Because all three engines protect each other. Demand is chronic, so it doesn't fade. The patent keeps competitors out until 2032, so nobody undercuts. And the pricing is so tangled, list, rebate, coupon, net, that no single number is easy to attack. Even the demand itself has been so far ahead of supply that, for stretches, the makers couldn't produce fast enough, which is a strange kind of problem to have when you set the price. And that price cut coming in 2027? Look closely, and it's not surrender. $675 a month is still around 6 times what the same drug lists for in Germany. Cutting the list price also squeezes the middleman and can win back patients from cheaper knockoffs. Even the discount is a move on the board. The machine isn't retreating, it's adjusting. So the next time you see a headline about these drugs, remember what you're actually looking at underneath. Not just a medicine, a money machine with 3 moving parts, a refill you never cancel, a patent that keeps the field empty until 2032, and a price built in so many layers that almost no one, including you, can see the real one. Whether these drugs are right for anyone is a medical question, and that's genuinely between a person and their doctor, not this channel. But the business, the annuity, the monopoly window, the hidden price, that part, now you can see clearly. If you want the real mechanics behind the products everyone's talking about, the numbers, verified, no hype, that's exactly what this channel is for. Subscribe, and we'll take apart another one.